there's no hair to put in your scrunchie.
I know. I did get a haircut. You're the only one that notices.
It's nice. You look nice, Harry.
Thank you. You know you're getting old when you go in for a haircut, and it's more about the beard. She spends way more time on my beard than she does my hair.
It's looking dapper.
Thank you. Finally, a compliment.
I know.
I don't know if y'all got a chance to listen to the last podcast with Brandy, but I kind of eased up on the parameters on the Descript AI software. So it's not like cutting everybody out halfway through every word.
Yeah.
Because it has this function where you can say, hey, take out all the filler words, hey, and it does it a little aggressively, especially if you're saying it mid-sentence. And so eased up on that, and it goes a lot smoother. But although I just cringe when I listen to how many times I say and like some sort of valley girl.
It's not distracting. There are some people who do it and it's distracting, but it's not distracting with you. But when you say ChatGPT cuts aggressively, like that's what AI is going to do with us.
Yes.
When the robots take over, all the redundancies and people they don't need, chop, 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 chop.
Yeah. The robots are already saying, you guys waste a lot of time with filler words. They're just slowly cutting us out.
Get to the point.
I know. Y'all got any plans for Valentine's Day?
Jen does.
Yeah, we're going to see Adam Sandler at the Moody tonight. I'm super excited.
How fun.
Yeah.
The Sandman.
He does stand up, huh?
Yeah, he had announced a bunch of dates, I think like last year, and then Austin was kind of a late ad, and I snatched him up. So I'm super excited. We're big fans of the Sandman.
Good.
The kids know like not all of his albums, okay? But they do know Lunch Ladyland by heart.
He has albums?
I just remember he talks like this. Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Maui, happy Hanukkah.
How's that, Jordan? Jordan's not liking my impression.
It's good. It's good. Is he going to sing tonight?
I hope so, Jordan. I sure darn hope so. Yeah, I would assume so. Like, I don't know if there's no opening act listed, but we'll see. That would be interesting.
My buddy and I went to Craig Robinson one time for a little like stand-up show, but then he sang the whole entire time, and we didn't know he signed up for that. Yeah,
that's funny.
Craig Robinson is Daryl from The Office.
Oh,
yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
Jordan translates for Harry. Just put it in office terms.
Yeah.
Fixing my.
Harry, what are you doing for Valentine's Day? Fixing Biscuit a nice candlelit dinner?
Biscuit is so naughty. I ought to put her back where I found her.
Oh.
Which I found her in the back of an El Dorado with a nest of baby possums. And of course, I drowned the possums. And I was just about to drown the dog, and I thought, I'm going to keep Biscuit. And that's how I saved her. And do you think that dog is grateful?
Yes.
Hell no. And when I get mad, I say, look, I'll put you in the back of that El Dorado with the possums.
Oh.
You're bad. I just make up stories for fun.
Yeah, I hope this makes it.
I hope it doesn't, Jordan. People are going to be like, what is this shit?
Drowning possums and puppies.
I know.
Happy Valentine's Day.
You haven't lived till you drowned a baby pop.
Possums are disgusting creatures. My grandpa had caught one once, and I think it had rabies. And I just remember my grandpa, my granddaddy, my grandpappy. It was in a cage.
What
it was
the
just,
actual fuck?
Your
granddaddy caught a possum? You surprised me so much, Jen. Here I think you're this urbane city girl, and then your granddad's out trapping possums. Did he eat it?
No, I don't know what he did with it. That's a great question. But that thing had rabies, and it was scary. That was scary because usually they're very timid. As ugly as they are, you don't see possums usually because they hide, right? That's why the expression playing possum, unless there's something wrong with them.
And they're nocturnal.
Yeah.
They play possum.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what they do. And they have a little pouch like a kangaroo. I don't know if you knew
you're
that.
right. They're adorable.
They're marsupials. They're just disgusting little creatures.
Yeah, they poor things. They are ugly.
Yeah.
But there's a neighbor we have that has a pet possum.
No.
Yeah. and they have a little doggy door that it runs through.
You got to be
No.
kidding me.
I'm not joking. Seriously.
Don't let me around it. I'll come over there and drown it.
Just
God.
no. Take your machete.
My mother's
Lucky
machete.
machete.
Listen, every time I see a possum, I just start thinking about drowning it. It's a compulsion. It's not right.
But what if it's an armadillo? You mistook it for a dilla, and then you don't want that on your hands.
Listen, I'm all about armadillos. They'll give you the rabies and they'll give you
The business.
the business. No, what are they give you? They give you leprosy, which I think is the worst disease ever.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Armadillos?
Yes. Look it
Harry,
up. Read a book.
What have
Leslie-
you been?
You can get leprosy from touching an armadillo, and they dig holes everywhere. That's, everybody says, oh, you're going to break your neck on that one wheel. Yeah, because the armadillos dig holes at the park.
Yeah.
So,
Leslie claimed that possums are good. And let me read you a few things they're good for. They're beneficial for your garden, eating snails, slugs, insects, small rodents, and get this, they'll even clean up spilled garbage for you.
Well, I got homeless people in Austin to do that for me. So.
God, they're so gross. Cleaning up garbage. God. Well, don't tell Leslie that I'm out here just drowning possums in my spare time. That's what Biscuit and I do at night. We go out and we solve crimes. When sometimes we'll drown a few possums, maybe chase a skunk or two. Biscuit's still chasing that damn skunk that lives here. She chased it last night.
Oof.
She didn't get sprayed, thank the Lord. But all right, let's let these Hop Wtr. We got.
Do we have him in? Is he not?
Well, we have Jordan Bass.
Oh, good. Yeah. Cool.
Let me clear my nostrils. Maybe I should mute when I do that.
Please do. Please.
Oh, the possums I've drowned. I could tell you stories.
We got to come up with a song now. Possum stories.
They got a Possum Kingdom song.
There you go. You go.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hello.
Jordan, how
Hi.
are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I got to ask right off the bat, is it Jordan Bass, like the fish, or bass like Harry's jokes? Okay, Bass, like the
No,
fish.
you got it. You got it right the first time.
Who pronounces anybody's name Bass? It's everybody's Bass. Like
True. Lance Bass.
Jordan just got on this call and just was into a buzzsaw. And is
how do you
it
feel about
Jordan or
possums?
Jordan? We got two Jordans on this call. This is going to be a nightmare.
It's gonna be great.
Okay, Jordan Jiggers, you're little Jordan, and Jordan Bass, you're big boy Jordan. Jordan, my name's Harry. Welcome to BeerNet Radio, the podcast where all your dreams come true. We have been talking about drowning possums, chasing skunks. Have you ever drowned a possum or a family of possums?
Oh, God.
Can't say that I have. That would certainly be a new one. I probably wouldn't admit to it on this either if I had.
True. Very honest guy, this Jordan.
Nobody should. Yeah.
Nobody should. All right. Well, Jen, before this goes too much off the rails, why don't we get started with this podcast? I want to hear about Hop Wtr because
That's
I
right.
think Hop Wtr is the future.
Yeah, so let's officially welcome to the show Jordan. He's a founder of Hop Wtr, non-alc sparkling hop water brand with nootropics. I have one here, the lime flavor. As you all may remember, Constellation took a stake in them, I believe, in the summer of 21. So we caught up with you last year. Want to catch up with you on sort of the state of the union of the category. So let's start there. I think last year in scans, Hop Wtr did a few million in sales. It's kind of a sliver of share of craft, but it's growing like crazy. I think last time I checked, you guys were up triple digits. So can you tell us how the category is shaping up in 23?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, first of all, let me crack a Hop Wtr for our interview here. Cheers.
Nice.
So thanks for having me on. Yeah, we're seeing that the category is continuing to really be on fire, and same with our brand. When you look at the category year over year, it was up about 150%, so strong triple digits from January to January, year over year. And as you said, we're still in the early innings of kind of building the category. Hoppy Water is fourth fastest growing style in craft beer, and Nielsen just made it an official category. But as I mentioned, we're still in that kind of base building phase. When we look at the long-term kind of opportunity, we start to look at some of the leading indicators for, the future growth kind of opportunities. And we see that all these macro kind of leading indicators are providing tailwinds for the category. So, right, health and wellness continues to be a long-term category. Consumers are looking for low sugar, low calorie, low carb beverages, moderation. And so we look at those macro trends and how that fits in with Hop Wtr. We're really bullish on the opportunity. For our brand, we are up 646% year over year. So, we're really focused on just continuing to build.
That's really cool. So explain to me, kind of talking about those macro trends, right? Obviously, we've been covering non-alc beer a lot too. How does the Hop Wtr kind of differ in the occasions from non-alc beer?
Yeah, great question. So for sure, Hop Wtr, and the original occasion was myself and my co-founder Nick looking for moderation opportunity. We love drinking beer, still do, and we're looking for kind of an alternative for either a night off or to extend our evening. And so that kind of same usage occasion as non-alc beer applies to Hop Wtr. I think one of the things that's so exciting about Hop Wtr for us is that what we're seeing is that it really applies to a broad range of occasions. So, it's 9 a.m, I'm enjoying my first Hop Wtr of the day. Seen a lot of consumers report that they'll enjoy it during lunchtime, et cetera. And that's one of the things that makes us so bullish on the size of this opportunity, because we're sourcing from multiple day parts. We're also sourcing from multiple categories. So not only is it that kind of craft beer, non-alc beer opportunity, but we're also seeing a lot of consumers use it as a premium, delicious sparkling water, which, as you probably know, on its own is well over $1 billion category just on the premium side.
I always wonder about obviously the hop part, which is part of the whole differentiator, but I wonder, is that a little bit polarizing to some people who wouldn't necessarily like hops, right? Aren't you pulling from a pool of beer drinkers first because of the hops, or how do you think that works out?
Yeah, great question. So definitely, I think, our target was beer drinkers originally, and obviously the hops tied to that kind of beer lineage. I think what we're seeing is that, again, consumers are kind of gravitating it as a low sugar, low kind of calorie option. But I will say that, I think one of the biggest challenges and opportunities for the Hop Wtr category is just driving trial. When consumers kind of, may have that perception that I'm not sure if I like hops, I'm not exactly sure what hops taste like on their own. Then they'll try the product and be like, this is delicious. I see all these different occasions for us to try it. So from a brand standpoint, we're super focused on sampling and other activities that are driving trial, because we see when consumers are able to try the product, they love it.
Right. And you guys, what share do you have among the Hop Wtrs? I mean, I know you're a big shareholder. I don't think you're the biggest, right? How does that break down?
So last year and last time you ran the data, that would be correct. We're really proud to report that we're actually now #1 share in the category. We've been working super hard, and in the grocery category, we've actually taken #1. And I think we're even more proud of that because some of the others in the category are just iconic brands that I've looked up to and consumed my whole adult life. So to see some of those others in the category and us being able to hold our own is something we're really proud of.
I think Lagunitas used to be #1, and it was the lowest priced. And you guys were the highest priced. Are you still the highest priced in the category? And do you want to stay there if so?
Yeah, we're not always the highest price, but yeah, we're a premium sort of offering within the category. And I think when we look at our consumers and our strategy, our consumers are telling us they want the highest quality product, and we really focus on quality ingredients. We also focus on certifications. So we just completed our non-GMO project verification, as well as we have a functional stack in our ingredients. So. And I think when we look at beverage in general, the premiumization trend is something that we think is also here to stay. So we're comfortable kind of playing in that area. That being said, we're certainly very aware of the pressures on the consumer, especially in this inflationary environment. So this summer, we launched a variety 12-pack to give a little bit better unit economics. But we also earlier in, I said maybe this year, but last year, 2022, early in 2022, we moved from a 4-pack to a 6-pack to align more with the beer set, as well as provide consumers a bit better unit economics. So we're definitely something we're constantly evaluating.
Cool. And when we were talking about occasions, and as you've learned that people are drinking this kind of all throughout the day, has your marketing evolved more towards anytime refreshment, or has it always been that way?
Yeah, really good question. And the answer is yes. I think in the early days, actually our very first ad was a picture of a guy kind of holding a can and it said your new 5 p.m. And that works, and that still really works really well. But to your point, I think our consumers told us that they were using the product throughout the day. And so we've responded with our marketing to have both multiple targets and multiple messages and look towards that wider kind of like message. So absolutely, yes, it's definitely evolved over time. We continue to listen to our consumers and respond.
Gotcha. And that said, have you started to experiment more and more with putting the products, I guess, further away from the beer aisle?
We really think that consumers are looking, especially given that kind of hop lineage, that consumers are, looking for our product in the beer aisle. And so, we think it's an opportunity to draw some of those sparkling water consumers, other types of consumers to the beer aisle and really source that volume for the beer aisle. That being said, there's certainly opportunities to do incremental displays in other parts of the store to introduce consumers that might not be coming to the beer aisle to our product.
Gotcha.
It sounds like you have your challenge is that, is that first you have to kind of train the consumer. What's the biggest confusion point? Is it that there's alcohol in it, or that what is hop water, or how do you go about that education process?
Yeah, really good question. Yeah, I think the biggest opportunity for this category is simply driving more awareness. We're still, our business is only 2 years old. Like, it's still a relatively new concept. And I think exactly what you hit on is right, is really driving trial of the product. I think, consumers kind of first question is, what does hop water taste like? And so as I kind of, mentioned earlier, we're really focused on those trial driving activities, getting cans in hands, sampling, et cetera. Again, because we've seen that when consumers try it, they love it. Like our repeat rate is actually like 2x the category average when you look at CPG. So like we see a high repeat rate, but to your point, that initial trial is really super important.
Right. And how are you going to market? Because it is non-alc, you could really go anyway. Are you going through beer distributors?
Yeah, so we're going through multiple routes to market. We go through beer distributors, and we've got some incredible beer partners out there. We have a pretty robust direct consumer business also. We're actually the third fastest growing non-alc direct consumer brand, only behind Athletic and Ritual, which are both iconic brands that we look up to. So we're really proud of that stat. That helps us with that trial driving because we're able to get kind of cans in hands. And then, yes, we work with our beer partners for retail.
Okay. And it looks like you're priced at about, what, $35 a 12 pack?
You're looking through our direct consumer site, which includes shipping. Yeah,
shipping, right.
In retail, we're a little bit lower than that.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I should have said, yeah, that's on the DTC website. So what are you looking for on the shelf? And you said you're in 6-packs and 12-packs, right? What's the price point you're looking for?
Yeah, depends on the retailer. Average price points typically somewhere between $9.99 and $10.99 on a 6-pack. And then typically sub $20 on a 12-pack.
Okay. When you say the word nootropics and adaptogens, you're in Whole Foods. How broad do you get past that kind of Whole Foods crowd, more into the Kroger, Walmart crowd? Where are you in that spectrum where it's going from the niche health and wellness to, hey, everybody can enjoy this?
Yeah. Great question. I think for us, it's flavor and occasion first, function second. And that was really when Nick and I founded the company, was how we were, the product that we wanted for ourselves. We wanted a delicious tasting, low calorie, low sugar product that we could, enjoy cracking a cold one. But we also wanted some functional reason why. And so really that's how we talk about it, with consumers, especially to your point, when you go to kind of the mainstream, it's really, flavor first. That being said, like we're seeing a lot of awareness increasing in functional ingredients. Ashwagandha and L-theanine are both kind of trending ingredients. So we're continuing to see that awareness build over time.
The real benefit you have is the no gluten and the low calories, no carbs at all. It seems like a slam dunk in that regard. How widely are you distributed? You're a Southern California brand. All Ultrans start on the coast and move inward. How far inward have you gone? Are you in Des Moines yet?
Yeah, great question. So we're in actually about 46 states, but I will say that we are primarily focused on a few kind of core markets. As you mentioned, we're Southern California based, so LA and Southern California is a core market for us. Last year in 23, the Northeast was a big focus for us, and actually is our number one market in conventional and is growing really rapidly. And then Texas, where you are, is a huge market for us. There's actually a lot of local hoppy water brands in Texas. So I think there's a really strong kind of awareness in that market. And we've got some incredible retailers like H-E-B that have been, big supporters of us in the market. And we're continuing to see, Texas be a really, really strong growth opportunity for us. So not quite to Des Moines, but not exclusively LA and New York.
Well, when you say Texas, you merely mean Austin. I mean, come on.
We're actually outside of Austin. We're in
Okay.
Houston and Dallas.
Right.
San Antonio.
But we did start it. I'll tell you, we did start in Austin in Texas.
Everything starts in Austin in this state. I know you're in LA, right? Is that
Yep.
you guys got started? Do you ride a one wheel?
Very
I'm not
specific
that
question.
hipster cool.
I am obsessed with my one wheel. And
Oh, really? Oh, maybe we need to do a branded Hop Wtr one wheel and do a little race or something.
I am so in, like Flynn. My clavicles, these are the bones right here. Every morning I wake up and they look up at me and they're like, "Don't break me today. Please don't break me today." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna break you. I'm trying. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
Harry,
out."
I'm impressed. I've actually never even ridden one, and you're out there
gosh.
pro style.
Don't worry, he
It's-
can teach you. Well, there's a couple more, but since we're talking about extreme sports, Jordan, if I slam 6 of these, is that okay for my daily L-theanine and ashwagandha allotment? Is that going to hurt me?
Definitely, you will be crushing it on the one wheel.
Perfect. That's exactly the answer I wanted to hear.
He's not allowed on the one wheel. Our insurance only says one employee can be on the one wheel.
So, well, let me ask you this, because we were talking about you guys being with beer distributors. I'm sure you're with some of the Gold Network because y'all, have that relationship with Constellation. Can you share anything about how closely you guys work with them these days?
Sorry, with the Gold Network?
With Constellation, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Constellation have been phenomenal partners. We work with them on a regular occasion. They've certainly been very helpful to us on go-to-market, on making helpful introductions, on general kind of strategy. So we work closely and really appreciative of the partnership. They've been great.
Yeah. And then something else we chatted about, 30,000 view last year. You said that you guys have a lot of rich data, of course, with your DTC business and that sort of thing. Any interesting things that you're seeing come through there in the category?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of things, and you're right. We use our data for multiple things. One, we use it to look at the next market that we're going to go to when we enter markets. So, for example, talk about Des Moines. Michigan was one that popped on our consumer data, and it makes sense. There's a lot of craft beer drinking, but like intuitive, we hadn't thought about it before seeing the data, and we saw we were over-indexing with consumers, so that gave us kind of an inkling. So that's one. Two, I think what we're seeing, about 30% of consumers don't drink alcohol nationally. We're seeing that our consumer, it's about 20%. So we're actually over-indexing with consumers who drink alcohol. We think that's like one of the biggest kind of opportunities for the long-term category, growth here is that moderation kind of trend. 58% of consumers are switching between no and low alc and full strength alc in the same occasion. So you can imagine having a couple beers, then a couple hop waters, or having hop water on your Tuesday night. Like that is a huge, massive macro opportunity for us. The other thing is that we're seeing in our data is that we're over-indexing with the younger consumer. So that kind of 24 to 45 consumer, where kind of a traditional non-alc beer skews a little bit older. So we're hitting like a slightly different demographic that's certainly a growing trend and is aware of this kind of moderation trend.
One of the things that I was interested in when I kind of did a little research is you guys just kind of made this in your backyard. Can you tell me, how did you get into this? What did you do before this?
Yeah, good question. Actually, it's a pretty good story. First, before this, I was started my career in venture capital, helped to build a startup in the clean tech space. And then immediately prior to founding Hop Wtr, I worked at a large CPG firm or company called The Wonderful Company, which is Fiji Water and Palm Wonderful, Wonderful Pistachios, et cetera. So got my kind of CPG experience there, and was looking to do something more entrepreneurial. And when Nick and I, kind of were looking at non-alc options, really, as I mentioned, I think wanted this product for ourselves and didn't see something, we said, all right, let's go create this ourselves. And yeah, the formulation. So we started formulating it pre-pandemic, and then the pandemic hit, and kind of everyone was like, what do we do? And the team that we were working with to develop the recipe was all new processes, and we literally finished and approved the last batch like on the back of our truck outside, and the team would come out in like full hazmat suits and hand us samples, and Nick and I kind of tasted, looked at each other, and we're like, yeah, that's it, right? That's great. So it was a very unique experience.
Damn. I mean, just forged in the fire. But that just makes you stronger.
It does.
When I'm out here at night solving crimes and drowning possums, it just makes me stronger. That's all it does. Little Jordan is just rolling his eyes so badly that I can't even look at him. All right, well, Jen, why don't you take us home before I embarrass us more?
Jordan, I want to tell you, Harry enlightened me today. Both Jordans, one Jordan knows this. Did you know that armadillos have naturally occurring leprosy?
No, I did not. I've learned 2 interesting facts on this podcast.
Where all your dreams come true. Harry says it and it's true. Well, just one more question to take us home. Any new innovation you can tease for 23 or anything else? Any news that we need to have from the source?
Yeah, so we launched our ginger limeade flavor, which is our newest flavor for dry January. We just launched that. We do have another innovation coming out in summertime. Flavor is under wraps, but I promise you will be the first to know. And it is a dream come true chatting with you guys on this podcast. I read your newsletter every day, and it's pretty iconic. So I'm grateful to be on.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
One could wait years to get a compliment from a reader, and we have. We've waited many years. Make sure we clip that, Jordan. No, thank you for being on. I think you got a great product, and I love to see entrepreneurs just kicking ass and creating innovations. And I am seeing this general rush to not just, health and wellness is a term that's just been so overused that it's just kind of ubiquitous. What I prefer right now is moderating your drinking. One thing, you just don't want to be trashed, because guess what? There's cameras everywhere, and you don't want that look. You don't want to end up on Instagram acting the fool. And so this moderation of switching between alc and non-alc, and then having a hoppy water just seems a natural fit in there. And I can't wait. When you just said the ginger limeade, I think you said,
Yep.
That is right up my alley, and I'm actually gonna go to HEB and see if I can pick up some of that.
As soon as we get off, I'll get a shipment on its way to you.
No, I'm gonna go buy it and check it out. I like it. Well, thanks for being on, and we'll see you at the next industry event, and I'll buy you Hop Wtr.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
And Jen, I'll talk to you later.